drinkers and internet stinkers, welcome to another edition of Tynbush Brew House. We're doing a BEERMKR brew, not with bananas. We got the Redwood IPA.
This is not a hef.
Yeah, Redwood IPA just came in. We're gonna unbox it and yeah, see what they threw in the maker kit. This is our first actual maker kit. So far we've only done the Squeaky Kolsch, which was a beta tester kit.
That came out pretty well.
That did come out pretty well. We thought it didn't. Go watch our last video, but it actually secretly did come out well. All right, so off the bat, we have a nice box, no bubble wrap. What's in the box? A bag.
What's in the box?
Now it's a free cat toy. All right, let's see what's in the bag. It tells us right here, I am a beer maker, and yes, we are.
We are beer makers.
We are beer makers. Halloween candy, no, I'm just kidding.
How festive.
Right. So we've got our card here, Redwood IPA. Follow us on Instagram. We can post a close-up of the sheet. What are we making today, John?
We're using Chinook, Cascade, and Centennial hops for the brew hops and the dry hops. Chico yeast. It says this is a relatively simple IPA with enough structure from the wheat and C20 to give it a real nice full mouthfeel. The C hops push it over the top with the pine and citrus. I like piney citrusy IPAs.
Shout out to my West Coast boys.
There we go. Clear is better. The Chico yeast gives it a subtle fruit character that takes a back seat and lets the hops tell the story.
Are you prejudiced to hazy? Are you if it's hazy, it's lazy?
Hazy is illegal.
Uh-oh, those are fighting words. We just lost.
Hashtag make IPAs clear.
We just lost 3 of our 30 followers. Sorry, guys. So it looks like we got, every beer maker's cool. Every kit, you get a nice, clean, sanitary brew bag. It takes a lot of the work out of a Sunday brew.
It makes your mash and everything, your fermentation, everything effortless.
Yeah, long gone are the 3 hours of sanitizing. Let's see. We have our steam hops, CTZ.
And I'll put in the description a link to show you what steam hops are.
They're pretty nifty.
They're not pelletized hops, technically, and they're not whole cone hops.
Centennial, I'm just going to start throwing things out of here. Well, it's an IPA. They have a lot more hops than our Kolsch, that's for sure. Our Kolsch had 3 total bags. Let's see. Cascade dry hop, that's nice. It tells you if it's dry hop or steam hop. I wish it were labeled more prominently. It's kind of hard to read. It's faded black ink on a shiny pouch. So more prominent labeling would be cool. All right, so these are just hops: Cascade, Chinook, etc., etc., etc. Our waste pouch. That's nice. Dumps it all in there. Ooh, big boy.
2-row.
2-row. Classic. Wheat.
Gives a little bit soft mouthfeel.
Caramel. Wow. I feel like this is a lot, just more of everything than last time.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Higher alcohol, more sugar,
yeah.
And let's just dump the rest here. I'm getting lazy, but I'm not hazy. All right, what yeast are we playing with?
That's that Chico yeast, correct?
Chico yeast.
Safale.
Shout out to your old stomping ground.
There we go. I lived in Chico, eh?
Oh, so this was neat. You didn't see this last time.
Oh, nice.
We'll Cervomyces yeast to catalyze our yeast, make it yeast Viagra, as I call it.
And then this is all the sanitation that they send you. That's how clean this whole process is.
Facts.
That this is all you need is 2 70% ISO alcohol pads.
And a couple of CO2s.
You don't need an entire bucket full of star sand anymore just to get through your 8-hour brew day.
Destroying your house and your marriage in one brew. Let's see here. So I'm going to open the app right now. Let's see if we can see what we can see. And I can do a screen record session later if you guys want, but we have the app. We're going to say Start Maker Kit. Scroll to your beer. Today we're doing Redwood IPA. And this is going to walk you through just about everything. Our videos might be a bit more helpful because equally helpful perhaps. We're going to show you the nitty gritty. This is our first time doing it, your first time doing it. We're going to make some mistakes together. The app's great though. It has GIFs, it has instructions. There are some things that just aren't quite clear till you're doing it, and that's what we're hoping you'll find out here. So let's get into it. Let's get started. Going? All right, so prior to brewing, we've got to do a little bit of setup here. We've got these white valves. We're gonna attach them to the brew bag, just the bottom one for now. And don't forget, biggest thing that I learned the hard way with BEERMKR, tighten everything as tight as you can, and then tighten it more.
It's not gonna break.
It's not gonna break. They sent an email. I think they're supposed to be fixing it in a few weeks. They're gonna send out stuff that doesn't quite need as much attention and elbow grease. So bottom white valve's on. Grab your Cervomyoces, little capsule, tiny guy. Drop that in.
It's a yeast nutrient.
Little yeast nutrient. Get the yeast all excited. Then the second white valve. And this is why, another reason of how you don't need to really sanitize, because no one touched inside of here, nothing got in there, and it's sealed from this point on out. It's gonna have one-way transfers of waste, etc.
Now, do you know with the BEERMKR, does it go through a proper boil?
So with your boil, you can either have it's heat over time, right? So I know it's over 165 for X amount of hours. I don't recall how many, but so it's not quite like a traditional boil in terms of temperature, but the time is long enough. We could throw that in the description below. All right, now we got to put our gray valves on. If you want to attach it to the waste bag.
Waste bag.
Off camera, I'm opening the BEERMKR just to grab the part of the brew basket. So at the bottom of the brew tub here, I'm attaching one of these gray valves. And these are little quick connect. Same thing here, painfully tight.
Also, shout out to Wolf Creek Brewery. Currently drinking the Lone Wolf.
That's their single hop.
hop Mosaic IPA. Very delicious.
Shout out to the beer sponsors of the channel. Also to Bomber Jacket. Second video they're helping us out with, keeping our beers stylish and cold. On to the actual fun part. So be careful when you open this. One, it slides around a bit, but two, you're gonna need to lift the hinge. It comes all the way off.
So don't tilt it back and think it's gonna stay there, because this will fall off.
So we're gonna take our brew bag, and it hangs right here with this handle, just like that. Then we're gonna put in our brew tub. It's got a little niche kind of hole thing, and there's a little clear stick here. That's just to help keep it in place. So I go in at an angle.
This pretty much acts as your mash tun.
Yep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in those quick release gray valves to the white valves that we put on earlier. That should you should hear an audible snap. A tip for the waste bag, try to have it black part forward, because when everything's full and pressurized, you're gonna have a hard time reaching around to undo it. So that should just be in like that. The next piece, because we want our liquid to stay in our mash tun, so they have a squeeze bar. This is gonna put pressure on the bag to make sure the liquid stays where it needs to be. It's a bit tough to find the grooves, but there's 2 sets of grooves and then 2 feet. Because you don't want to pinch the bag where it's not meant to be pinched. So that should just sit just like that. If anything gets folded, just make sure you unfold it, because it'll be a lot less pliable when it's full of liquid. There's 3 pretty stern latches here. open those up.
So we go ahead and mash in.
And then our brew basket. Our brew basket looks like this. It just sits nicely on the top. And we'll be right back for the next steps, unless it doesn't sit nicely on the top. There we go. Alright, we'll be right back after we sanitize all of our tools. Alright, now to mash in. Step number 1, make sure you're hydrated. Cheers.
And make sure you have a cap.
Yes, cats are important. So we're gonna throw in the initial 3,000 mLs of water, but what you're gonna do when you do that is make sure you check for leaks. Every step of this way, check for leaks, because that can quickly destroy your brew, but also your home and everything.
But more importantly, your brew.
More importantly, your brew.
Yeah. Homes can be replaced.
Brews
And
cannot.
so can brews, but you don't want to deal with that.
So yeah, everywhere you screwed something in, check for a leak. The earlier you can catch them, the better.
So our initial 3,000 mLs has filtered through the brew basket into our bag, where the wort is going to sit after our mash in.
So John, some people are I'm sure are wondering, does it matter what order you put your initial grains in?
The order of which grains you put in.
Yeah, just dumped in some 2-row, I'm gonna dump in some wheat. What if I'm like, well, does it matter what's on bottom or on top?
It doesn't really. I mean, all your water theoretically is going to touch all of the grain. That's what you're hoping for. Also in the instructions, it tells you to make sure that you level all your grain out to make sure that everything touches. So I would say right now at this point, before you put those in, give it a little
Give it a nice
kinda,
little.
to make sure just you don't have any air pockets or anything that's going to be missed.
Perfect.
In traditional brewing, it's called setting the grain bed.
That
Get
caramel
pockets.
smells nice.
Oh yeah.
So we're dumping it all in. We're gonna make sure it's nice and flattened out. Then
Probably give it a little hand mix to make sure everything's kind of
little hand mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's right. Because there's not going to be a whirlpool here. There's no
There's no lauder ton going around. Gone are the days of traditional brewing where you have to sit there and stir.
I'm not gonna come over here with a tablespoon and give it a whirl. All right, so that's all mixed up. It smells like a bowl of grape nuts.
Definitely does.
I'm double checking for my leaks.
No leaks,
No leaks.
just freaks.
Just freaks. Make sure you get it all over yourself. So now this is gonna differ recipe to recipe, but for the Redwood IPA, we're adding another 3,700 mLs of water. And the beer maker only comes with 1 water pitcher, but I didn't want y'all to suffer through me waiting for my Brita to filter, so we pre-prepped our water. So we are nice and full, and now's a good time to point out how important it is that you have the squeeze bar on. Because we're perfect water level, but if we didn't have the squeeze bar attached, everything would just drain into your brew bag.
And it's not ready for that.
It's not ready. It's got to go through its boil and everything. So
I would say at this point we should give it a little mix to make sure that everything is evenly dispersed.
Why not?
You got a lot of dry grain around your edges.
We're gonna use our super technical Mickey Mouse Clubhouse baby spoon.
This is a literal mouse-a-tool.
Yeah, it's for our mouse tool bag for all you.
Thanks, Toodles.
Yeah, for all you parents and Disney fans out there. All right, so we are nice and mixed up, ready for our grape nuts to release their sugars and do their thing. So now we're gonna close it up here. And it's a little firm to close, but that's important. Gotta make sure the gaskets and all that are sealed.
Any leaks.
Double check for leaks once again. Say good luck. Oh, we gotta add our lid. Where's our roof?
Right down there.
There's 2 hooks in the back. Make sure they're hooked in. when you shut the door, I give it a little lift because there are some hinges that are a little sticky, and it's important that it's firmly closed and sealed because it's gonna help it control its temperature. After it's all set, just double check your app.
To convert those sugars into alcohol-free.
We're just going through all of our steps, just double review we didn't miss anything. All right, close BEERMKR. You're gonna push that button right here that's blinking. The button should change from blinking red to white.
As it just did.
And if you can hear it, the fans are gonna engage on the back, and that's because the heating and cooling elements are gonna run, they're gonna generate a lot of energy to turn that grain into sugar water.
Fermentable sugar water.
Yeah.
And then we'll have beer.
Yeah, see you in yeast pitching and hop adding.
Cheers.